first thing we're going to talk about is Stephen Curry's historic 3-point performance. I'm not sure if y'all saw the game the other night, but Stephen Curry, he hit his 4,000th 3-pointer.
Yep.
Does that cement him as, a part of the GOAT debate when it comes to LeBron, Jordan, Kobe? Is that like milestone right here? Put him in the GOAT conversation.
I feel like he'd have an easier time in the GOAT conversation if he was the definitive GOAT of his position. Because, people are going to argue him and Magic forever.
Yeah.
It's like different with like the shooting guard, because you're going to say Jordan's better than Kobe.
Yeah.
Because,
True. Okay. So you're saying even that doesn't put him in the GOAT conversation.
I don't know. You're arguing with Jordan and LeBron fans, bro.
Yeah,
you're fighting an uphill battle.
You got a guy who's a Vince Carter fan, you got a Steph Curry fan, and I'm a fucking Nikola Jovic fan. You're not getting anywhere with Jordan LeBron debates today.
Honestly, bro, we're gonna clip that and we're gonna put it on TikTok and we're gonna let you get flamed. We're gonna let you just get roasted.
I'm not a stranger.
It definitely helps his case for the GOAT debate, bro. But it's hard to match up with those two guys.
Yeah, I just think it'll be easier time if Curry wasn't injured that much, in the first 5 years of his career. In all honesty, it just
I don't think that matters.
For me, it does, because in order to be the solid GOAT, you have to be completely dominant from start to finish. And Curry was good, maybe great, around 2014, but he really started taking off, at least within his prime. At least when with Jordan, he was hitting right off the bat. LeBron, he was off the bat. Kobe, off the bat. Curry had to take some time, and that just hurts him a little bit more. But if he was, he's always the greatest shooter of all time. He's done so much, 4, maybe 5 NBA titles. Because y'all been hot. 13-1. I've been peeping.
Yeah.
And it's just that's just my reason, but we'll see how far Curry goes in terms of his career and the help that Golden State provides, because Jimmy Butler has been fantastic. I just wish that's more depth. And yeah, that's about all I'll say, but it definitely helps.
We need I was gonna, not to cut you off from we need those LeBron fans back because those Lakers, bro, they're starting to look scary out in LA. But go ahead,
bro. You notice as soon as they start losing game, they start slipping back. All of a sudden, Lakers fans are nowhere to be found. They know everything. The first episode, they just can't come on, But to the Curry point, I disagree with your point, Sean, about how Curry being injured takes away from his greatness. I feel like that actually adds to his greatness. When you have a player who has the rings to back it up in less time, without the help that Magic is going, because the debate is going to be, Magic is the number one. Magic had Kareem, bro. Magic had he wasn't even the number one on his team. He had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now, I will say, Curry had KD, 2 of those chips, you know what I'm saying? But then he did it with him. He did it without him. And he's been an underdog and throughout his whole entire career. And he's 6'2". That's unheard of at 6'2". He's 6'2", carrying a team. No one has done it like Curry. And not only has he done it, but he changed the game while doing it. You have the Boston Celtics shooting all them threes. That's all Golden State's influence right there. That's Curry's influence right there. So to that point, I would say Curry, LeBron and Michael, they might be the NBA's GOAT, but I think Curry is the people's GOAT.
I like that argument. But I just want nothing to take away from that about Curry specifically, but were you to believe that also Tim Duncan would be in the GOAT conversation for what he did in 98 to 07? He got 4 rings, same franchise, same coach.
So I see what you're trying to do there, Sean. I see what you're trying to do.
I just want to I'm not taking away your argument. I just want to will it apply to other people like Tim Duncan.
No, it doesn't apply to Tim Duncan because Tim Duncan, he was obviously a huge part of those rings, but he didn't lead the team to those rings. Curry led the team to those rings, and Curry changed the game. Like he changed the whole entire culture of the NBA. And I'm saying, bro, when you're 6'2", it's way harder to do that as a guard than it is as like a forward or like LeBron or like a Kobe, because it's like it's easier. And mind you, Curry is still playing the same game. He's still having a sensational season. I mean, not one of his best seasons, but he's still having a great season at 37 years old.
Absolutely. Very great argument. I got nothing else to say.
And to your point earlier, Sean, about how like Jordan and like LeBron were like good off rip, you got to remember Curry wasn't that good coming out of college. I mean, I don't think people put I don't think people put the ceiling on him like they did with like Jordan or LeBron, because I remember Curry out of college, coming out of college, probably I don't think he was that high of a like star player.
Yeah. Valid. Great arguments.
He averaged 17 points his rookie year of the NBA.
Still very good.
Yeah, it's still very good. I mean, he wasn't the guy on that team either. It was, I think, Monte Ellis.
Yeah.
He was the guy on that team.
Yeah, and that season, I think everyone on that team dealt with injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like the Warriors got hit with injuries hard early on.
Would either of you say like a player? Would either of you say is there any other player that has changed the game more than Stephen Curry? Would you say?
It's hard to say, but since I've seen him, like I've basically grown up with Curry. I mean, literally.
Yep.
So I'd say he definitely has. You can most recognizably see his impact on the game.
Okay.
I think Curry has changed the game more than LeBron.
I would agree with that.
I could agree with that statement too.
Yeah, because the thing is that LeBron, he's primarily a slash. He could do all around. You couldn't say he could revolutionize the point forward in the all around positions, but everyone in the league started taking more threes to the point where everyone, the entire time, they took away the mid range, they took away the post up isolation, Memphis Grizzlies style basketball, Portland Jailblazer style basketball, the mid range shot to all favor 3-point shots. Big men are taking 3-point shots, and they kind of have to because of one man, Stephen Curry.
Who would you guys say that changed the game more, Allen Iverson or Stephen Curry?
Curry definitely. I'd say Curry definitely had a more like game impact, but I could argue Allen Iverson had more of a cultural impact.
Same opinion.
All right.
Because what Allen Iverson did on a cultural impact, you can't measure culture, and there's no one bigger in the cultural landscape. Maybe argue Michael Jordan than Allen Iverson, and I stand by that.
Okay. So you're saying on cultural level, Allen Iverson, but in terms of the game itself, Curry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what did Allen Iverson revolutionize in the game of basketball?
Maybe just like the art of ball handling. I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, when did and one really start popping off?
Around the time period, like it was more like when AI and Melo was starting.
That's what I would think. So maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he had a. Yeah, I mean, I just know like the Professor and like Bone Collector and like
Escalade.
Escalade, yeah.
My man Escalade.
God rest his soul.
Yeah, but that I think that's more of a cultural thing. Street ball is like a cultural thing. Like no one's running pick and roll like screens like that. Everyone's just trying to do Jamal Crawford's in street ball, and that.
Go ahead.
And I think that helped like the NBA, because the NBA back in the day, it was more variety of offenses. Like you got the post ups, you got the Jamal Crawfords, like just a dribble, and then you got your teams who just nowadays completely limited. You have to shoot the three. Like I believe Josh said this on the other day. The Orlando Magic cannot win unless they up their 3-point percentage. And the Atlanta Magic is more like 90s style basketball more than anything else, or like
Mhm.
2000s. It's just like, you look at the entire league, you have to be good at the 3-point shot
Yeah,
because of Stephen Curry.
That's true. I mean, hey, I would even say your boy behind you, Vince Carter, changed the game more than Allen Iverson, in my opinion, in terms of the game itself.
Elaborate.
Yeah.
Like I feel like him doing the dunk and everything, I feel like he took it to the next level. I feel like he brought more people to watch the game, even as casual fans. Like he made people like
He brought more eyes, but I think they have the same impact.
You could. I would agree. I would agree to a sense. Like a lot of players, like with Vince Carter, like they'll like be like that. Like I remember watching that. They'll say all the time, like I remember watching that dunk contest and being like all that stuff. Like I mean, I know Donovan Mitchell has like paid homage to him in the dunk contest. I'm sure. I mean, I know Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon have talked about him.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, I wouldn't argue that Vince Carter's done more, but I'd argue that they both have impacted the game in similar ways.
Well, it's not a popular take. I'm just thinking like what one of you said, when you have to point to something, oh, what did this person like change, or what did this person like contribute to that game? I feel like we can clearly point to Vince Carter and be like dunking. With Allen Iverson, obviously we know he was a ball handler, but there's ball handlers, crazy ball handlers before Allen Iverson too.
Yeah.
Detroit Pistons was the point guard. Have a brain fart.
From when? Like
from Bad Boys Pistons.
Isaiah Thomas.
Exactly. Like he was a crazy ball handler, but like if you were trying to like, oh, this guy brought this to the league, a different flair, different style, I would say Vince Carter, definitely.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah. And I got something to like add on. Look, imagine the early 2000s. Allen Iverson, known for ball handling, Vince Carter, dunking, Kobe Bryant, ISO Demon, Shaq, inside the 3-point. You got a bunch of variety around what could potentially help you win a title. And with everyone want to be analytical and starting prioritizing the 3-point shot, it's taken away that feeling. It's like, of course, you got to shade with the mid ranges, but it's like everyone's trying to do threes and near the baskets. Like, I just wish that the league was more all over the place, because I think that would be truly exciting. Because like we said, the NBA's been like declining because everyone's been saying, apparently these legends, everyone just wants to take threes, and maybe that's what clicked when talking about this, because there's no diversity around NBA offenses or a guy who's unique for doing a different thing. So I just want to hear y'all perspective on that.
Well, what do you mean? Like, explain a little more. So you're saying,
do you think that like maybe like
the players are too similar?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I, to a degree and to not a degree. Like a lot of the superstars, their games are pretty unique. Like Jokic, Shea, Ants, Tatum's,
Cade, yeah.
Yeah, Cade. Man, we love Cade Tatum.
Yeah.
Who else?
I still stand by
Luka.
that.
I mean,
I feel like if you look at the game, the games are different. Like you can like point to this person, like this is their game right here. This person's game. I think you can, unless you're casual, you can, if you watch basketball, you can look and be like, okay, this person has a very specific game or pace that they play in.
But I would argue, like on the surface level, the game is very similar. Like we've mentioned, three pointers are the new norm. So I think on a surface level, the game would look pretty similar all around. But once you if you look and actually see the way the players move, the way the players act, it's fairly different.
Absolutely.
And to answer your question down there, Ahmad, about where does this milestone rank among the greatest achievements, I think we'll have to wait and see with how this generation ends up ranking. Because I mean, like we've discussed, the 3-pointer is like the new norm. So I would not be surprised if these players start or like right up there with Curry.
Yeah.
That's a great point, actually, P. That's actually a great point because like I've seen stats already where these people are already on pace to catch up with Curry, you know, and it's just because they're shooting so many goddamn threes, you know. So that's a great point. We're gonna move on to the next topic. We're gonna talk about we're gonna go to NFL. We're gonna talk about them Cowboys. You know, our favorite subject to talk about. So you got DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence, 4-time Pro Bowl. Is signing a 3-year deal worth up to $42 million with the Seahawks. $18 million of that is guaranteed.
What?
Upon his departure, there's a little bit of some beef between him and Micah Parsons. DeMarcus Lawrence says, Dallas is my home, but I know for sure I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there. Micah Parsons says, this is what rejection and envy looks like. This some clown shit. And then DeMarcus Lawrence responds saying, calling me a clown won't change the fact that I told the truth. Maybe if you spend less time tweeting and more time winning, I wouldn't have left. How do y'all feel about this move? You know, and what do you think this leaves the Cowboys? Are their Super Bowl hopes over?
I don't know. First off, I think DeMarcus Lawrence was rather silly for tweeting this, bro. Because I mean, the Seahawks. Granted, the Seahawks have made a lot. The Seahawks have made a lot of moves this offseason. We'll have to see if that even pans out. Because I mean, you could argue the Seahawks are in a way worse position than the freaking the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So, and for him to say to the one of the best defensive players in the NFL that if he spent less time tweeting and more time winning, he might have stayed, or the Cowboys might be doing better. I think that's crazy, considering you're talking to the guy who came in and was, you could argue, was better than you. I'd have to go look at their stats to completely declare that as a statement. But I think it's crazy to talk to like one of the best players in the NFL like that when your career has slowly is declining, and when you went to a arguably worse team.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. What do you think, Sean?
Arguably is crazy. I think the Seahawks are in a way worse position, considering the fact that I'm sure we talked about the fact that the Seahawks have arguably given up a lot of pieces like DK Metcalf, then today they got Cooper Kupp. So it's like, at first I thought they were trying to rebuild, and I'm talking about the Seahawks. Now I'm confused. You got rid of Geno Smith, you got rid of DK Metcalf, and then you get Cooper Kupp, you get DeMarcus Lawrence, and I'm like, what the hell are the Seahawks even trying to do? Let me know.
I couldn't tell you either. I thought they were rebuilding too, and then they still started signing people like crazy. So I don't know if they want to rebuild, where they want to go from here.
And this is coming from a guy who's taken football seriously for 2 years, including the last season. I'm upping my knowledge, and even I don't know what the hell the Seahawks are doing. They're a fringe playoff team, and now you got rid of Geno and DK, but you get DeMarcus Lawrence and Cooper Kupp. I'm sure Cooper Kupp is not doing what he did in 2021 again. But, I'm just beyond confused. And about the Micah Parsons thing, that's kind of insane. But, yeah, probably not going to win anything the Cowboys either with Jerry Jones at the helm.
One thing I wanted to touch on was, it's super interesting to me, though, because, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but bro, Micah Parsons, he's one of them people. He's a part-time podcaster, right? He's a part-time.
Yeah, podcaster. He does. He does some stuff occasionally.
He's the same dude who over here be glazing every other quarterback, bro. He doesn't like his own quarterback. I feel like we know by now that he doesn't believe in his own quarterback, and he was checked out I would say he was checked out at a good portion through the season because he knew they weren't going to win. So why is it a big deal by DeMarcus Lawrence saying that? You know, he said that I don't think I'm going to win here. And Micah Parsons basically agreed last season. He didn't think they was going to win either because he was doing music videos, podcasts, and everything else but winning football games. I know he can't win it by himself, but he knows that Micah Parsons knows that they don't have the right team. Everybody knows the Cowboys not going to win. Only people who think the Cowboys are gonna win is Dak and Jerry. That's the only people.
And every Cowboys fan. Imagine.
Yeah,
Cowboys fan.
yeah.
This is our year, they said.
I don't know. So I mean, to be fair, Micah might not be a Cowboy next season.
That's what I'm saying. Like
he might be moving somewhere. I don't know. I don't know. His like situation over there is even confusing in itself because it's like, are they going to pay him? Are they going to trade him? What are they going to do with him? And part of it also makes you wonder: is Micah Parsons a good teammate?
Yeah, it is. That's dry hate, bro. Your boy just got paid, and you over. I feel like, in my opinion, Micah Parsons shouldn't have said anything at all because it's like it's not one of those things where he was dissing like a specific player. He was really dissing the organization. And Micah Parsons, as someone who might be out of there himself, why would you even need to comment on that? Is my take.
To even compare it, the Falcons just like released like one of their like veteran, like he was like our team captain, our D tackle, or one of our D tackle, edge rusher, D tackle position player, Grady Jarrett. And we made a whole post about him. I don't know if the Cowboys do because I don't keep up with Cowboys like that. But we made the whole like, we appreciate all he's done for the organization, blah, 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 blah. We wish him the best. And he got a contract within like the next day or the day or so with the Bears for like a pretty good amount of money. I think it's like 2 or 3 years, like 15 mil. And like all of our players that were like on the same team with him, AJ Terrell, Bijan, Jesse Bates, we're like wishing you the best. They were like saying, they were just like congratulating him on getting a contract. So I mean, it really like makes you think like, man, maybe Mike is not the best. Which I mean, if you look at his personality, wouldn't be the most surprising thing in the world.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Do you think? I mean, because right now we're hearing about a lot of moves going on in like NFL free agency. It's like going crazy. I feel like we see Seahawks making, whether you agree with it or not, they're making big moves. We have even the Browns. They haven't really made any big moves, but we have like the Raiders. We have a lot of teams making moves right now, but it feels like teams like the Cowboys aren't really making any moves. Do you think it's too long to like do anything? Is this gonna bite them in the ass?
It probably will because I mean they lost their starting running back and they signed 2 mediocre running backs to replace them. So it's and I don't even know. I'm trying to think like the remaining big names of free agency because like the biggest name I know is Trey Hendrickson because it's interesting to see what team he's going to go to because from what it seems, from what the Bengals news is, like the Bengals are going to pay T. Higgins and Jamar. So Trey Hendrickson's going to be out of there because they do not have the money to pay him. So it's like, are they going to try to go for Trey Hendrickson with their pick? Because it's weird. And they did this last year. I know we talked about it in like early episodes about how they just didn't do nothing. And Jerry Jones got a lot of flack for it. And it's looking like he's not doing nothing again. So
bad season to be a bad decade to be a Cowboys fan for real.
You can say bad 2 decades. You can
it makes me feel things.
All right, we're gonna move to the next topic. We kind of already touched on it a little bit. We just I guess tighten up on this a little bit. So Cooper Kupp, he's on the move. He's going to the Seattle Seahawks. It was just reported that Cooper Kupp has signed a deal to go to the Seattle Seahawks. Trying to figure out how much he's getting paid. But while I'm figuring that out, how do y'all feel about this Cooper Kupp trade? I know y'all said you're confused, but do y'all think this could help the Seahawks in any way? Do you think this is just a bad move?
I think it helps the Seahawks because if you look at their wide receiver room after DK's gone and Tyler Lockett's gone, they clearly need wide receiver help.
Yeah.
It's the main question is, Sean mentioned it, is he gonna play to his 2021 level when he won the Triple Crown? Because if he can, Seahawks got a wide receiver 1. If he doesn't, they got an old vet that's kind of like an Adam Thielen, like a who else is an old guy that's like doing pretty decent in the NFL right now?
DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, like one of those types of players. So it'll be interesting to see what production they can get out of him and what their goals are in the future. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Like, what does he have left in him, and what are they trying to do as a team?
I mean, last season I know he had some difficulties with injuries, but I feel like when he was playing, he was nice though. Like when he was on the field, I think he was very productive. I think the thing, of course, was his availability, but I thought he was nice when he was on the field for sure. But again, like you said, he's replacing DK. So if he was adding to DK, that's one thing. But the fact that he's just replacing him, and if he's down, who is going to be that wide receiver one is a question.
Who's the quarterback?
I was going to ask that. Yeah,
I think Sam Howell.
What the fuck?
I'd have to double check and look. I can't remember if they have Drew Lock still or Sam Howell. I don't remember.
I'm going to have to look this up.
Sam Howell. I think Sam Howell. Yeah. Wait, seriously? No, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold. Didn't Sam Darnold?
They signed Sam Darnold. Oh my God, how could we forget that?
Yeah.
Like,
and man, it'll be interesting with him too. Is Sam Darnold going to play to the level he played this year? There's a lot of question marks with that Seahawks team. Like, what are they trying to do? Are players going to play to the level that we know that we've seen them play before? Like, I don't know.
So what you call it? They signed Cooper Kupp for a 3-year, $45 million contract. And they signed Sam Darnold. I think how much money they gave him.
They gave him $100
million contract. So it seems like they low-key might be in they're trying to save. And they could have just been tired of dealing with Geno Smith, and he wanted the money, and they wanted. And you got like DK, he's a diva receiver, and he wanted a certain amount of money. They could have just been ready to just be like, fuck all this. And they're ready to rebuild. Because I think by getting a new quarterback, it's always a sign that you're trying to rebuild. When you get a new quarterback, you're trying to move things around. They got a new wide receiver, and they're making a lot of moves right now. So I think it's a risk. It looks really risky right now, but the payoff could be bigger than we thought. Yeah, I think that's honestly the biggest thing that we want to talk about tonight. We're going to wrap the episode up. Nice 30-minute episode. Guys, let us know, like Pete said in the comments, if y'all like this format of like a little shorter episode, more digestible. Pause. But that's all we got for y'all tonight. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next week, hopefully with the full squad with us. Let's salute out for Josh. Darvin Ham, salute.